Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Grade 12. This is continuation of data analysis and statistical treatment lessons that we have. Last time we were talking about frequency and measures of central tendency and computing the weighted mean. Feeling ko wala na yung recording ng lesson na yun, which is too bad. So I hope napanood niyo yun siya. But anyway, moving on. Now, continuation for data analysis and statistical treatment. We are going to talk about two of the most commonly used statistical treatment when we are talking about correlation. So, anong ibig sabihin ng correlation? Ang correlation is you have two variables. We have x and y variable. Itong x and y na to, depende kung ano ito siya. No? It might be academic performance and, let's say, amount of modules submitted per week. No? Pwede yun yung x mo, yung academic performance, and then the number of modules, yun yung y. Or maybe the hours you put into study versus your score in mathematics summative test. You know, that could be your x and y. So for as long as you have an x and y variable in your study and you want to find out if there is a relationship between the two, meron na silang relationship, no? Meron daw something between them, like do they affect one another? Yun yung ibig sabihin ng relationship. Does x have anything to do with y? Yun ang sinasabi nating relationship. So you can use either Spearman law or Pearson's R. Okay, so ito si Spearman at si Pearson ay parehong scientists and of course great researchers. And they were able to formulate this formula on how to solve this correlationship between two variables. Let's start with Spearman's law because if you can still remember, we have different types of variables. We have nominal, ordinal, interval, and ratio. So nominal and ordinal variables are considered non-parametric. Kasi nga ang nominal is just category, di ba? Tapos ang ordinal is category with organization. So for example, nilagyan mo ng category yung mga estudyante, male, female. So that is nominal. Pero kung alphabetical order mo pa sila, so meron na silang organization, merong order. So that is now ordinal variables. Ang interval mas mataas, no? At saka ang pinakamataas na measurement is ratio, of course. Ang kaibahan lang naman ng interval at ng ratio, ang interval meron siyang range. Interval nga eh, diba? Like for example, when you say 90 to 94 with honors na siya, 94 and above, 94 to 98 if I'm not mistaken with high honors, and then 98 to 100 is like with highest honors. So, yun yung interval. Now, ang kaibahan ng interval sa ratio is that ratio has the true value of 0. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Ibig sabihin, the lack thereof. Okay, like for example, if sinabi ko na ang height ng tanim ay 0 centimeters, it means wala talaga siyang height, no? 0 centimeters nga eh. Okay? Ang kaibahan niya sa interval, pag sinabi nating 0 degrees Celsius to 1 degree Celsius, it doesn't mean na wala siyang temperature, diba? 0 degrees. It doesn't mean na wala siyang temperature. It just means that it's the freezing point, diba? Okay, so yun ang kaibahan ng interval at saka ng ratio. Now, pag ang variables mo ay ordinal variable or non-parametric, meaning nominal or ordinal variables lang yan, you may use Spearman's law. And the formula for that is, Spearman's law is equals to 1 minus summation of d I squared times 6 over n times n squared minus 1, where the law is your Spearman rank correlation, the d sub I is the difference between the ranks and of corresponding values x sub I and y sub I. Okay, and of course, n is the number of your respondents or the number of the sample or population. So, meron siyang tatlong outcome, positive correlation, negative correlation, and no correlation. Ang positive correlation, hindi ko na on yung ang positive correlation is ang graph niya is increasing. Kung maalala nyo yung linear function, ang graph is increasing, so that is positive correlation. Hindi ko mapakita sa inyo guys, but I hope you know, of course you know. Of course you know linear function, right? And increasing linear function na graph. Okay, so that is a positive correlation. Pataas ang graph niya, papunta sa right. Okay, galing sa lower left, papuntang upper right. Yan ang kanyang graph. Okay, and that is a positive correlation. And that means that as x increases, y also increases. So, kuan siya, no? Directly proportional ang dating. Sa negative correlation naman, it is decreasing linear function na graph. So, what do you call this one? Coming from upper left, going to lower right. Ganon ang kanyang graph. At ang ibig sabihin ng negative correlation is that, kabaliktaran, no? As x increases, y decreases. That is indirectly proportional. Ang no correlation naman is no correlation, walang relationship. Okay. Ang itsura ng scatter plot niyan is random. No, wala kang nabubuong graph. Walang graph na nabubuo. Not even a normal distribution graph. Okay? So, ang ini-interpret natin usually is the positive correlation, and we have the value and the interpretation here. So, ang value is pag 0, 0.0 to 0.19, that is very weak correlation. But at least there is still a correlation, o may positive correlation pa rin siya. May relationship pa rin ba, pero konti lang. Pag 0.20 to 0.39, that is weak. 0.40 to 59, moderate. 0.60 to 0.79, strong. And then 0.80, 1.0, very strong. Now, kung mag-interpret na ganit tayo guys, no, itong mga numbers na ito, it is only like 10% of the entire interpretation of the results. Okay? Hindi mo kasi pwedeng sabihin na, for example, if between your savings, your daily savings versus your expenses per month, for example, yun yung X and Y natin. Tapos ang relationship niya is weak, no? Let's say weak ang kanyang relationship. You cannot say that, hindi pala naapektuhan ng savings ko ang expenses ko per month. Meron siyang effect, no? It's just that maybe there are a lot of factors out there. Maybe you have little allowance, or maybe you have little savings, or maybe you have little money to begin with, kaya maliit lang din yung savings mo, and that's why konti lang yung kanyang effect sa iyong monthly expenses. You know? So, kailangan meron pa rin context, okay? Kailangan nag-iisip pa rin tayo bilang isang researcher, okay? And so, how to solve for this, what do you call this one? Spearman rho. By the way, ang pag-represent ng Spearman rho at Pearson R is usually using scatter plot, okay? It is a type of a graph, and I will show you how to create a scatter plot. But first, let's have this example. For grade 3 students, for example, the research problem is that may relationship pa ang grades nila sa writing versus ang grades nila sa reading. Does it really follow? Like, for example, if you are good in writing, are you also good in reading? Gustong malaman natin yon dito sa example na ito. Now, how are we going to rank this? Pwede nyo imano-mano, okay? Or pwede nyo rin gamitan ng Excel. But for this one, alhamdulillah, naka-arrange na siya. So, let's just rank this one. The lowest being 1 and the highest being 14 kasi 14 ang mga dito estudyante. Guys, make sure, I hope pinanood nyo yung mga video lesson before kasi di ba remember pag may the same na score, hindi ganito mag-rank, di ba? I hope you know that. Okay? I hope you know that. If you don't know that, then go back to the video lessons in the first quarter. Yeah, I think it was first quarter. Okay, so ito naman ang i-rank natin, ang Y. So, 8 ang pinakamababa. So, 1, 2, walang 10, 11, 12, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So, yan yung rank natin. Now, ano ang BI? That is the difference between the ranks. So, meaning, difference. I-minus mo lang. 1 minus this one. Yan. And then, just drag and drop. Copy-paste na yan lahat. Okay? And then, square down natin yung difference. So, this one times itself. Okay? And then, just drag and drop again. Now that we have that, let's get the total of these things. Okay. But anyway, ang pinakakailangan natin actually dito is, ang pinakakailangan ito lang naman ni. Tama ba? Yes, indeed. Okay. So, 62. So, paano natin to isolve? So, 62 times 6, sorry. Okay, tama na. 62 times 6 over 14 times 14 squared minus 1. And then, i-minus mo yun sa 1. Let me use my calculator. Okay. Okay. So, ang sagot ko sa mano-mano ay 0.4424. Tignan natin kung tama yan. Ito yung sagot ko sa mano-mano guys na computation. But let's try using the built-in formula dito sa Excel. So, formula, more function, statistics. Spearman rho. Walang Spearman rho. Correlation daw. C. Ito. Array 1. Ito una. And then array 2. Ito. Then okay. La! Iba lagi kami nung nakuha. Baka hindi ito yung Spearman row. I think hindi. Madami kasing ano guys, tawag dito. Maraming, ano tawag dyan? Form. There you go. Maraming form ang formula. Maybe iba ang dito sa loob ng Excel. But anyway, for now, let's use this one for interpretation. Itong 0.86. So 0.86 is a very strong positive correlation kasi nga positive siya. And how are we going to plot this one? So insert scatter plot, ayan o, scatter plot, scatter. Or you can go to charts, and then all charts, and then scatter. Okay. And then, yan natin. Okay. Wow, amazing. Data. Select data. AutoCAD, no. Sorry, ito. Kunin natin. And then ito. And then insert ulit, and then scatter plot. There you go. Ay, tanggalin ko muna to. Okay. So, ito yung ating scatter plot para dito sa ating sample. So, as you can see, ito yung sinasabi nating increasing, ayan o, positive correlation. Paano mo nasabi, teach? You can click here, chart elements, and then trend line. As you can see, ayan o, yung sinasabi nating increasing na linear function na graph, di ba? Pataas. Okay. So, that is how you will know that this has a positive correlation. And apparently, looking at the Spearman row rank correlation, it is a very strong relationship. Therefore, you can conclude that indeed, if a grade 3 student is very good in writing, then they are also good in reading. But remember, you cannot generalize every grade 3 students in the entire world. So you have to specify that this specific group of grade 3 students, if they are good in writing, then therefore they are also good in reading. Okay? Ganon yun siya. So moving on, let's try Pearson's R. Pearson's R or Pearson product moment correlation coefficient. So ito naman siya, parametric siya na statistical method used for determining whether there is a linear relationship between variables indicated by a Pearson's R coefficient. So again, meron bang relationship between two variables x and y? The same thing as Spearman row. It's just that the type of variable now are parametric, meaning either interval yan or ratio. Okay? So this is the formula for that one. And masyadong mahaba. But nandito yung meaning ng mga values dito. So still the same thing. Ang outcome is actually the same ang interpretation. And also, scatter plot pa rin ang gagamitin natin pang graph. So we have an example here, pero gisagutan ko na siya. Let's try to answer it again. Para para makita ninyo kung paano gawin ang pagsagot. So at least dito hindi na kailangan mag-rank, Yun ang maganda dito. Diretso na. Excel na lang talaga lahat ang gagamitin natin. So kung x squared, if this is your x, then just x squared. Ayan, times itself. O, di ba? Simpleng bagay. Yes. Okay, next, y. Again, by itself. Ayan, okay. Ang mahirap lang data dito na part is yung ilagay na natin siya sa dito, sa formula na ito. So, x times y. So, x times y mo lang. Yan. Ito pala yung kunin natin lahat dapat ang sum because they are needed. Okay. Now, itong mga ito, yun ang ilagay mo dito na value. For example, ang n is 15. Tapos, summation of xy, which is this one. Tama, di ba? Minus summation of x, ito, times summation of y, ito. Over square root of first n, so 15 times summation of x squared, ito, minus summation of x, pero e is square. Guys, dapat marunong na kayo magbasa nito, ha? I assume that you know how to read this one. Okay, times 15 na naman, times y squared, ito, minus y, summation of y, tapos e is square mo itong 890. At good luck kung anong makuha ninyo sa mga calculator ninyo. But in Pearson's R, if you're going to use the built-in here in Excel, tignan natin kung may Pearson R siya. P. Meron. Okay. So, array 1, this one. And then array 2 is this one. Okay. 0.9705236. Wow, it's a very strong correlation. And if you're going to plot this one, scatter plot pa rin. Really, it's wow, it's almost a straight line, no? Yan natin ang trend. Nice. Okay. So, ganyan magtingin, guys, ganyan magawa ng what they call this plot. And by the way, ang pag-interpret dito is the higher the number of hours that you study, the higher the scores in the exam you will get. Ganun lang naman, kasimple mag-interpret niyan. Okay? Let's try this one. Usage of electricity in kilowatts according to Davao Elco. And then, amount of savings in peso. Okay, tingnan natin. Guys, hindi ko na siya hindi ko na kunin yung mga values dito. Kasi meron naman pala siyang built-in. So, gamitin na lang natin yung built-in, no? So, statistics, Pearson R. So, no. Array 1 is this one. Array 2 is this one. Then click OK. Negative 8. So, kung negative, ang correlation, sorry. So, they are indirectly proportional with each other. So, let's see kung totoo, no? Wow, there you go. Pababa nga. Let's see the trend line. Trend line. There you go. Yan. Yan yung sinasabing decreasing na linear function na graph, diba? So, ang ibig sabihin nito, guys, as the usage of electricity in kilowatt-hour increases, the amount of savings in peso decreases. Okay? Yun ang pag-interpret sa sample number 2. May sample number 3 ako. Saan ko ito nakuha itong mga scores na to? I forgot where I got these scores from. But anyway, let's just get the Pearson correlation for this one. Kung meron bang, tingnan natin kung merong relationship itong dalawang scores na to. I forgot what type of test is this. At saan ko nakuha itong scores na to. Weak. 3, weak. Weak ang kanilang relationship. But still a positive relationship though. So let's try to graph. Tingnan ninyo. Halos straight na siya, di ba, no? Pero tingnan natin ang trend line. Yan. Maliit yung slope. Mababa yung slope, no? Unlike sa kanina, parang ang taas-taas ng slope nila. So this is a weak positive correlation. Still a positive correlation, but it's very weak. Okay? So that is it for today, guys. Actually, no? Pero sa correlation lang naman ang ating pag-uusapan today. So I hope, again, guys, update nyo talaga ako sa research ninyo. Kasi anong araw na, nung petsa na, wala pa ni isa sa inyo ang nakakonduct, okay, ng study. Wala kayong data lahat. So, why are we even talking about statistical treatment? But anyway, moving on. So guys, i-update niyo ako please. And thank you so much if you're going to watch this video lesson. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.